Aside from the fact that you are beautiful, you have the good eyes, you have the basic education, whatever certificate you hold, that's not applicable to this industry. Aside from even having a good personality, many of us have abused our social media. We go on social media, we post all sorts of things. I tell people, you want to go to the embassy and you have posted all sorts of things on your social media platform. Hello? It's a no-no for you. That's why many of us are refused visa. You don't know that Google is tracing every of your movement. As you're here right now, as much you want your data, Google has captured your movement for today. Take it or leave it. So that's why you should be careful of what you post. I'm saying a lot of things are at the same time because I have a very short period. Okay? So you have to be careful of what you post on social media, what you expose yourself to. Hard drugs will kill your kidney, because if you have kidney problem, you have diabetes, you have the likes, you cannot fly. So health-wise, you have to be sound. Mentally wise, you have to be sound. So if you're a drug addict and you're aspiring to become a travel professional, please, if you see those bad gang, like we used to say, don't join them, please. You have a passion, you have a future. By the grace of God today, I've trained more than 2,000 travel professionals, and they are doing very well today. I'm proud to say that. And I have some of my products right seated here in this, among the audience. All right, so to cut it long story short, let me leave you with this. There's something that is very paramount. You have certificates. You can have BSc, you can have, they are all certificates. But in this industry, certificates is actually good. Skill is most important. That is why we call it certificate. So certificate is good, but certificate is what? Is better. Thank you very much. If I have the opportunity to speak again, I'll be glad to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Oludayo Taiwo, the Director of Studies, Europol. You did well within this short time, and you kept your time. And I'm grateful that you are a clear example of grace to grace. Grace to grace. Today, a CEO and once a cleaner. If we think their position is the challenge, see somebody here speaking. If you want to be a pilot, it is possible. And it is very possible. The financial resources notwithstanding. But there is something I know, that there is a God who makes a way where there seems to be no way. When you started speaking, I saw a pastor in you. It's either there was a calling that you refuse to answer, or the missed call is still waiting for you. Yeah, there is a calling, And as a senior pastor and the GO of Crossover Assembly, I'm the General Overseer of Crossover Assembly. You know, when you cross over to the other side, we declare what we have in our post. So, CEO of Crossover Assembly, the CEO of chukwuairline.com, and all of that. We are enriched here by the kind of things we are hearing, and I think we are very grateful. We are very lucky to be in this audience. The things you have heard today, I wish some other persons we invited made them suffer valuable. But very principally, even before you came on board to speak, you missed some of the things the DG told us. Some of the people that passed through here, he was particularly trying to build, he talked about industry capacity building. So it will cascade to what we will reach other climes. And the industry is more encouraged. The DG was here, he spoke to these young ones. If you need to be supported, he will support. If you need to be exposed, he will expose you. If you need to be activated, he will activate you. But if you need to lower your altitude, destroy yourself. I've been told here that tattoo is no-no. So for those who have tattoo, go and clean it. If you can't clean it, remove your skin. You see, those are the challenges of personal exuberance, useful exuberance, that we should be careful not to allow ourselves to get involved. Somebody was flying as a single person, got married, gave birth to children. It means flying is not stopping you from doing anything. You can be whoever you want to be and be as successful as you can fly. And God will bless you. A man from Bangladesh helped in Nigeria to talk to, even a man from Afghanistan can help you to be someone. Thank you very much, Taiwo, for speaking to us. Let us move a little more to Tinuke Stanley Pepo, the legal pilot. Can you come and talk for 10 minutes? My worry is that lawyers talk too much. But pilots are precision people. So how do you combine them? You went precision profession, talkativism. Can you talk to us? You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My distinguished, I'm actually getting emotional because I remember about 11 years ago how my career in the aviation industry started. And it started like a joke in a conference like this. We had a distinguished guest, and I don't know what it was that sparked excitement in me, and I just called my dad and I said I want to become a pilot. I said I want to join the Air Force, but I don't like war, so yeah, I didn't join the Air Force. But thank you so much for being here and being patient to be here. It takes a lot of patience and understanding to be here and actively here. Thank you, Mama J, for hosting this. And for my fathers and seniors, my co-father-in-law, actually the person that handed me over to my husband is here. I won't mention his name, but he knows himself. And my former rector as well. I was a student at the International College of International Aviation College in Lorraine. And I want to say that school made me who I am today. It was a very important part of my training, so I definitely have a Akim Balaji is like our school mother. I heard about her before I joined the industry, and a lot of things she said today. Even me as a female pilot, I still admire her because it takes a lot to be a female pilot. I know she said it very casually, but you are going to be around men, a lot of testosterone. I don't want to pronounce it wrongly, but you know what I mean. And if you are not grounded as a woman, you can lose your track. What that means is that as a lady, if you don't know why you're there, you can easily get sidetracked. A lot of my colleagues got pregnant. I'll address that right now. A lot of my female colleagues got pregnant, and I'm not against pregnancy, but you have to know why you're in the industry. And the pregnancy came during the course of the training, so of course that terminated their training. One of the goals I set for myself before going into Lorraine was that I want to be the best here. And coincidentally, the person before me that was the best was a lady. And she's from Islamic background. She will cover herself, but when it came to the flying, she was the best. I didn't start off as the best. I was actually the worst in my class. Like when we do tests, I remember back then we do tests and my grades weren't very good. We were only 3 civilians in my class. And they will ask, okay, let me see your results. And I'll sit down and say, no. But I made up my mind that I have started this journey and I'm going to finish first. And when I finished, I was the best in my class. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter. I was going to introduce myself initially. My name is Tinuke Stanley Pepo. I'm a commercial airline pilot now with a background in law. But I think what's most important about me is my passion for the youth. I face challenges in this life, not as a result of my career choices, but I think life and chance happens to all of us, and we're not going to come here and paint a perfect picture of an industry. There are going to be challenges that are going to test your personality, test your ability to learn, test your ability to cope with pressure. And if you haven't mastered that, you're going to be at the weaker end. So it is hopefully you build those characters and those abilities before you go in. But if you don't, there's room for you to build it on the course of your journey. I'm going to keep this very short because I don't want him to step in between. But I want everyone here to hopefully leave not just as an attendee of this conference. We hope that each and every, I can't even speak longer, everybody that has spoken, I'm even learning from them, so what do I want to say? But I hope you leave here impacted. And the only way you'll be impacted is that you have taken what you have heard and you apply it. I see some people taking notes. I love going for conferences. I will take notes. But after, what is most important is after the conference, what did you use with the knowledge you have gotten? One of the speakers said key. Knowledge, keep educating yourself. Knowledge is key. But knowledge not used, it's just a book. If you don't apply everything that you have heard today, you're going to leave here the same. And it doesn't matter where you will be tomorrow. I didn't start off in the industry, but this is me today. Tomorrow it might be you flying my children. And I want to hope that you are fully equipped by virtue of this conference to do a good job wherever you find yourself in the future. Thank you.
No, when I went there, I laid hand. And soon I laid hand, the voice came back. And somebody appreciate God. You see, this is an interesting environment to be. For some of us who were called, we are doing what we're doing. For some of you who are getting inspired by the things they are saying, please push on. You know, some of us naturally we are called to be in aviation. I received a direct call. When they gave birth to me, I said, you are going to be in aviation. Receive it, and I received it. My mobile. Thank you very much. It's okay. It was quite interesting. What you didn't tell us is the person who gave your hand out in marriage. No, the reason why it's important to tell us is that some other person want to marry. So that they meet him to give them. As many as want to marry, please don't leave Captain Jaja to live here without submitting yourself to the juvenile. So he gives out people. He's doing utilize that opportunity very well. So if you are still here with us, we are not done with you yet. You know, I have information that will be very interesting. As you mean, you have an MTN. 32. I have, please, all these CEOs here, don't type anything. You are holding your phone as if you want to type something. All these CEOs, don't type anything. Are you ready, MTN? Yes. MTN, I said. 3293 9954 0522 50990. So who got it? Have you gotten another before? This guy.
After scholarship.
You got scholarship and you're getting this. Wow. Transfer that card to somebody. You know, it was interesting when I got to know that some people from airport are also here. They're also here. Can I come to your school? It will be a problem. Okay? For those who have glue, somebody was already quarreled. You know that your mother used in school. I'm not talking about the one you bought. This book that your mother used to go to school. You read about some people who were occupying political offices then. And you will come now when you turn 18 and you are voting age. You still vote the same individuals to occupy the positions. Are you okay? Generation mess. Wake up from your slumber. When the Lord calls you, answer. It is your turn to be heard. You see the kind of vibrant young ladies we are presenting here is because they took a decision at the right time. Take some valid decision and God will bless you. Let me allow one of our persons who flew in from the United States of America on Delta, not on Benin Airlines, to come and talk to us. We'll give you 5 minutes, sir. 5 minutes because I know you still have jet lag. Yes. Prince Kingsley welcome, a round of applause for him.
Well, flying from different parts of the world. You can fly in your dreams too. I like young people. And you can see, I also like to dress like young people. You guys can see my sneakers, it's Nike, right? And whenever I start to talk to young people, right? To young people. I always start with hashtags because we're in the world of hashtags, right? And my hashtag, right, is chase the dream, not the fame. Let me hear you guys say it.
Chase the dream, not the fame.
Chase the dream, not the fame. I remember some time back I was in Georgia, I was in Atlanta, you know, and we were building, I was like a key speaker for a conference by the National Business Aviation Association, and we were talking to young people like you, right? And you are no more Generation X. You guys are now Generation. I want you guys. This is going to be interactive. You guys are Generation Z. And you all know that we are in the world of young people doing so many things in Nigeria, right? We have all the boys doing well. We have Bono Boy, Grammy Award winner, right? Yes. Good. And we have Joe Boy. And we have Fireboy. Peru. Para. Peru, don't they? Para. You guys sing, let's sing tonight. Peru. Para. Peru, don't they? Para. That's it. So, they also chased the dream, right? I'm sure you all remember so many people wanted the Grammy. And finally, it came, right? Now, we have two fantastic people doing well, topping all the billboards, right? Whiskey and... the girls. Whiskey and... No. Whiskey and... No, you guys. Thanks! And you girls are here. I'm an old man, and I know these things, eh? What's going on here? Anyway, today, I said I was going to dress like you guys. I'm going to wear my Nike sneakers, I'm going to wear my t-shirt, and let you know that this Generation Z, right, is the Boeing centers. I've seen aircrafts out, built. And these are people that are seasoned engineers, right? And without making that airspace safe, we have the traffic controllers. That place has to be safe enough for the pilots to fly, right? Even the ground ops people are extremely important. The flight operation people are, so aviation is very vast, right? This is aviation careers. Because when you talk about aviation, people think pilots. It's not just about pilots alone. You understand? I know, I'm just trying to re-emphasize so that it's diverse. You can always pick something, you know? You can always pick something. Hashtag
Chase the dream, not the fame.
You guys are not talking about eating. Hashtag
Chase the dream, not the fame.
The fame will come, but the dream comes first, right? I'm not going to talk that much. I can see very young people here, and I'm sure in another, say, 10, 15, 20 years, you know, the sky will be your limits. Yes. You see, Generation Z, the sky will be their starting point. You see? But when we're growing up, they tell us the sky will be our limits. Captain Jaja, you know those days, Dr. Young, the sky will be our limit. But this generation is telling us that the sky is just their starting point. And I'm so excited because Nigerians are doing extremely, real good. Extremely. You go to even the Biden government, you see Nigerians in key positions. I go to NASA, I see Nigerians holding top-notch positions, doing stuff. I go to Boeing, you know, Nigerians, and we're all Nigerians. So I encourage all of you, the fame will come, because the mistake young people do is to chase the fame. But you have to dream. You have to dream. You have to dream. And when you dream, the fame will come. Hashtag
Chase the dream and not the fame.
Even though he made a t-shirt out of it. Thank you, Prince Kingsley Mokoma, the president Foreign Airlines Association in Nigeria. You see, when he talks about flying to this, he's almost a witch. Sorry. Okay, he flies too much. He's not from Benin, no. He's not from Benin Airline, but he flies too much. You know, thank you for coming to join. Like when you chase the dream, the fame will come. Because that fame is also very important. Am I correct? Because that the dream will take you to the fame, but not the other way around. So what we're hearing today is to make ourselves, prepare ourselves for a future that can be very interesting. If we build, it is in us, incubate of us to prepare for that great expectation. As you continue to engage, you continue to evolve. Like earlier on, for those who are joining us, we've touched every area of aviation. We've spoken about, in fact, Captain Engineer Delika spoke to us about ATC, air traffic engineers, and all areas. We are trying to touch every area as much as possible, that it is a complete system. If one aspect is capacitated and the other one is incapacitated, it brings decapitation, and there will be a problem. So make your choices and suit yourself. Like some of us, we fly this way we are flying now. Our mouth helps us to fly. Dr. Daniel Young, can we hear you for a few minutes? Dr. Young, I want to beg you, as a round of applause please as he's coming. Dr. Young, I want to beg you as you are coming to take this microphone. I want to beg in the name of God. Time is of essence. I know you will enjoy him for like one day if he speaks for a whole day. But you cannot stop. But we want to beg the time and say it's not here too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Distinguished presenters, wonderful young people, and the rest of us. Good afternoon. Well, this is a prompt. I'll try as much as possible to make sense of it. Share with me. I can. I will. And I must. I can. I will. I must. I'm trying to put together everything you have heard today. Unless you say yes within tonight. You must be involved before you can evolve. And until you evolve, nothing changes. You must be what? Involved before you evolve. And until you evolve, nothing will change. Every profession that you see anyone operating today is an open door and a possibility in you. No one is created different. I came to this industry only 10 years ago. Massive dedication and complete involvement has brought me to where I am. I have the privilege of having interfaced with at least 6 ministers, or 5 to be precise. But here I am. At your age, I was told I was uneducable by my parents. That the school fees paid for me or paid on my behalf was a waste of money. That I should hurry up and finish secondary school class 5 and then go and learn a trade. Some of you are sitting here, you're having difficulties with learning. It's not a permanent future. You can overcome it. I did. I studied one of the most difficult courses you can think of in this world, Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. If you don't understand English, how can you understand Latin? In fact, when somebody is saying something you don't understand, you say he's speaking Latin. If he's speaking nonsense, he's speaking Latin. And so to make sense of that chaos, I had to sit down. It is not enough to come here and motivate you. The practicality of it is that anything you want to be is possible in you, but you need to pay the price. Until you pay attention, attention never pays you. If I hold any book in front of me, I will torture the book so much that it will reveal itself to me. Because I go with a red pen before every book to question everything the person has written. You have a right to question everything anyone has said today. We gloss over the bad aspects or the intricate efforts that we put into becoming who we are. And so someone thinks it's easy to gloss over. These ones have paid a price you can't think of. Heavy, heavy prices. And so sometimes when you expose yourself to these dangerous threats, you make yourself better than the rest. Until you are able to do what others cannot do, you cannot have what others cannot have. Say it. If you cannot do what others cannot do, you cannot have what others cannot have. If you can do what others cannot do, then you will have what others cannot have. Life requires us to pay a price. Look at yourself and ask yourself, what are the deficient areas that you have? Now, 3 key things before you can succeed. 3. Knowledge, skill, and attitude. Knowledge, skill, and attitude. Everyone you see operating at the highest peak in life is a man of knowledge. For knowledge, you forever rule over ignorance. The man who will succeed must be. The application of knowledge is what creates result. If you have the knowledge and you have the skills that can create results, but your attitude is bad, you will never succeed. Never. And that's why you can go to a man's place to go and barb your hair. You say to him, if you see me here again, cut off my legs. Why? His attitude is bad. So attitude can sabotage all that you know. Attitude can sabotage your knowledge. Attitude can destroy your dreams. So first, you must cultivate everything that you need. Attitude, good attitude is what positions you for the access that you need. As young people, you see elderly people, and you look at them, you don't greet them, because perhaps you think your father is richer. You have blocked an access. You wait to be told what to do, and then you look at the person instructing you with deep suspicion, and sometimes with disregard. You block your access. Your knowledge will not count, because when it comes for time, when the time comes for recommendation, you will not be recommended. Attitude can be cultivated, and everything in life is learnable. Everything in life is learnable. You don't know how to read, bend down until you know how to read. When I was in UI, something happened to me. I discovered because I was deficient in every aspect. In fact, I have said it over time that I have infirmity of language. When you can't communicate in English, then you have a problem. I came to the house and people were talking, and I run away. The infirmity was so much that I became dumb in class. People thought I was a quiet man. But I put myself through a process I call immersion. I immersed myself in words and in reading. Completely obliterated ignorance and the use of English. That if you ask me to bring a passage and ask me to bring out all the conjugation of verbs there, bring out all the, all the rudiments of English language, I isolate them one after the other. Why? Because I went through a process I call immersion. There are 3 levels of learning. Conscious competence, when you know what you are doing and you are doing it consciously. The lady who spoke here is operating at the level we call mastery, which is unconscious competence. You are driving a car without looking at the gears. Instinct is driving. Why? You have attained mastery. Anything you want to do, commit yourself to it, give it yourself wholly to it. A time will come when you do not have to look at the gear levers anymore. You have become a master. Don't just become ordinary. Say, I will never be ordinary. Say it. I will never be ordinary. It's a commitment you make to yourself. I'm sure if my father were to wake up from the dead and you were to see me now speaking, he would say, where did this one come from? Because nothing good was expected. But you see, other people's idea about me must never be my destiny. Your conclusion is immaterial. What counts is my own decision about who I might become. And my willingness to pay the price at all costs. The man wrote a poem, and he said, I bargained with life for a penny. You can Google it. And life will pay me no more. And until when I counted my Scottish score, only to find that life is a just employer. He pays us what we ask. I worked for a menial hire, only to find dismay that any price I asked of life, life would gladly have paid me.